Hey everybody, so today we're going to be taking a look at my motorbike. So over the last 2 years I've had what I believe to be an intermittent problem where I'll be riding along and my engine light comes on and basically it's an electrical problem. My battery's dying, which means it's not getting charged. And it happened 2 years ago. We put a booster pack on it and I'm suspecting what that did is charge the battery back up. It happened again last year. We only used the battery pack to boost my bike, so then within a very short period of time it happened again, and that's when I had to get a tow truck home. And I took it to the dealership and they put a new battery in it because they said the battery had a bad cell, and that's not surprising. That was the original battery. It was 11 years old at that time. And if the battery is bad on a Victory bike, basically your whole electrical system is compromised. It's not like some of the older systems where if you get it started you can run them without a battery. So to replace the battery, I went for a ride last weekend and the damn engine light came on again, which meant my battery was dying. So I rode as fast and as far as I could to get home, about 20 kilometers, and then my bike quit on me. I unfortunately forgot my battery pack. My wife brought it to me and I put it on and rode it home. I took the battery down, had it tested. The guy said the battery's good. It only had about a 90% charge, but I only rode about 5-10 minutes home with the battery pack, so that's all the charge it was getting. So I put the trickle charger on it and we're going to run some tests here. Now basically I thought it was an intermittent problem, but I'm thinking what it is it's a slow, very slow drain problem where over time the system is not charging the battery. Maybe it's only charging 99% instead of 105%. And we're going to try and run some tests here to see if we can figure out what the problem is. I do have a new stator which I am going to install today, and we'll see if that fixes some of these problems. So I have my little multimeter here and I have it set to volts, and I've got it set to the 50 here, so we're gonna see what's going on here. So this should be a 12-volt system. You can hear that the bike is currently not running, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so I put that in there and I'm reading about 12 volts. And that makes sense because without the bike running, the battery should be reading 12 volts. So let's start it up and see what happens here. Hopefully you can hear me over this. So this is kind of at fast idle. And if I didn't know better, I'd say that's reading less. It looks like 11 volts. Very strange. Let's put it on low idle. Maybe 11.5 volts, so it doesn't seem to be full power. Let's turn that back off and see what we got here. I get more charge with the bike not running. I got just over 12, maybe 12.5 volts here. When it's running, I'm seeing about 11, maybe 11.5. So I've either got a bad regulator, which I've been told if they get really hot that they're bad. Mine wasn't hot anytime I have checked it. So my guess is the stator. So let's replace the stator. All right, so on a Victory bike, stators are behind this bad boy here. We're going to have to remove a few things before we can get in at that. We'll have to probably remove the foot peg here and probably our clutch lever, and then we should be able to get in there. Fortunately, this is the one time Victory is really good. I shouldn't say the one time. I really like this bike, but the stator's here. It's easy to access. I know there's some bikes where you got to pull the whole engine out. So fortunately, this is a do-it-yourselfer. So let's start ripping apart here and see what we find. Now, I've said before, Victory is an American bike, and I do like them, but most of the stuff's metric. So you need a 8mm hex wrench to get into these. Let's let's pull this cover off and see what we got going on in here. So this thing's a little tough to get off, and the reason is because these magnets are very strong and it feels like it's stuck on something, but just always be very gentle when you're pulling these things apart. So now comes the fun. Always make sure you get all of the old gasket off, otherwise you end up with potentially oil leaks, which is the last thing I want. Alright, so let's undo this troublemaker. So there's the old one. Ah, good. So just something I want to point out here is there's this little plate, and basically the wire you can see here kind of goes underneath of it, and that's because this is stationary. But this guy up here spins really fast, and that's how you make your electricity. You've got a spinning magnet in a create an electric field. This plate needs to make sure that wire does not get wrapped up in your flywheel thing here, or you're going to shred it to pieces. So make sure you get that in there properly. Now comes the fun part. I got to make sure that the clutch lever and the shift lever all go back into their proper places here. So I'm going to take a minute and figure that out. So it's probably tough to see. So this is where the shift rod goes, and then there's this little dowel, and then up in here is basically your shifting mechanism. Now basically, that dowel goes in between these two guys here. So we're going to try and, basically we're going to just pop this out and put it in there, and then we'll try and get this side cover back on. Alright, so we got that part on. Now we're going to have to obviously be careful. There is a bearing in here, and we'll have to put this on very carefully. So let's get the gasket in there. Now what's going to happen is this magnet's going to suck this thing back on there, which is okay because it kind of holds it into place, but you just got to be watch your fingers, of course. Now, before you go and tighten anything up, you got to make sure this is positioned properly. Currently, it isn't. So we're going to pull it out a bit. That looks about right, because that's your clutch lever. You don't want it to be pulled in too far, or you'll be riding your clutch. And if you leave it, if you turn it too far this way, you're not fully engaging your clutch, and it'll probably grind your gears. Now, let's just make sure that gasket is in decent shape. Alright, I've got it all back together. I might have to adjust my shift lever a bit just for positioning, but it's all back together. I just got to put some oil in it, make sure it doesn't leak, of course, and then we'll test the stator out here and see if that's fixed the electrical problems. Cross your fingers. Alright, moment of truth. Okay, so bike not running. We have very low voltage, which worries me a huge amount. Let's see if it'll start. I'd say that's reading about 13. Which is higher than what it used to be. The next little bit I'm going to have to keep an eye out for oil leaks. And that looks like I'm getting higher voltage now. It's still not up at about the 14 and a half where I'd like to see it. But it looks better. Let's see what this reads now. Maybe it's just because the battery was low. Alright, so the battery's up at 12 again, so it's just getting a little down for whatever reason. But at least it reads higher when it's running rather than lower when it's running. So at the moment, I would say we've got a bit of a success here.